touchdown in the first quarter for Indy. So Indy outgaining the LA Chargers 141-24 in that first quarter. All right, we've got points on the board for the first time today in that Green Bay, Arizona game. It is a 32-yard Chad Ryland field goal for the Cardinals, who are up 3-0 over the Green Bay Packers. For Green Bay, there was some concern about Josh Jacobs and whether or not he would play today, Joe. He dealt with an illness this week. He was listed as having a calf injury after practice on Friday. He does have one carry for 1 yard and 1 catch for 3, but we're also seeing Emmanuel Wilson in the game quite a bit, as he has 2 carries for 7 already.
Yeah, he has the same number of touches as Josh Jacobs. Certainly something to watch today, Paul.
So let's see what the Colts do on that 4th and 2 as we go live to the Indy offense. We're in a goal to go situation now in Dallas. So let's go live to the Commanders offense.
Hoping that one of your receivers will go on and win a one-on-one round. Better than the guy before that time for Jenny. Get it out. Get it out there. They're going to third and goal to line. Here's the crowd. They're listening to their white towns here at AT&T Stadium. Third and goal. Takes up. Jeremy then Nichols to his right. 2 wide receivers to the left. Hits up where he stands back. Looking at his line. Dancing for a back.
So Zach Ertz, a popular DFS play today, Joe, and a popular prop play as well with all those injuries. Ertz will do something of note in this football game, and sure enough, here in the first quarter, Zach Ertz in the end zone for the Washington Commanders to take their first lead of the game, 8-7 over the Dallas Cowboys.
One of the all-time great Super Bowl prop bets, Paul, that shows up in your prop totals and shows up in the books is, will either team score totally in the first 7 minutes or 30 seconds? And oftentimes, in the Super Bowl, there's a lot of feeling out, right? You get a teams going, I don't know about that, right? There's a punt here, a punt there, a long drive here. Well, this one, there's 7:38 left in the first quarter of this game, and there's going to be, 15 points already. Now the Commanders are going for 2 to try to make it a 10-7 game.
Yeah, and on the 2-point conversion, it's Jaden Daniels on a keeper, and he does not get there. So 8-7 Commanders over the Cowboys, 7:38 remaining in the first quarter in Big 8. Okay, so that game with 15 points in the first quarter, already living up to the billing that it could be a shootout. Meanwhile, Indianapolis Colts, we told you they had a 4th down and 2 from the 4-yard line. They go for it, and Daniel Jones connects with Michael Pittman on a 4-yard touchdown. So Indy with another touchdown, and Daniel Jones, 7 of 11 for 69 yards and a score, and Michael Pittman gets into the end zone here, going his first catch of the year.
And Michael Badgley also converts on the extra point this time to make this a 10-point game Indy over the Chargers.
Wow. This is a good measuring stick game for these two teams. You got the Chargers at 4-2, you've got the Colts at 5-1. Which one of these teams is for real? Right now, it's looking like it's the Colts, who, if they can win this game on the road today, Joe, will be sitting at 6-1, and truly one of the big stories of the season. So,
yeah, I mean, you look around the AFC, true contenders. Consider Pittsburgh. I don't know if you lose Joe Flacco like 10 days after that race. The Bengals, obviously, Kansas City is obviously Buffalo. Baltimore at 1-5, but at the very least, the last 2 weeks, Baltimore was shell. I mean, it's 1 themselves. So I'm not completely right with Ravens on yet. They have no more compare, but they have to get things together. The Patriots, I'm not sure they're there from a talent standpoint yet.
I put them and Denver and the Chargers and the Colts kind of underneath that elite group that you already walked us through with KC and potentially Baltimore, right?
Yeah, and look, I'm not 100% writing off Baltimore yet. I do want to see what they look like with Lamar Jackson coming out of the bye. But these 2 teams, the Colts and the Chargers, are with the Steelers and the Patriots in that second tier, and I'm not 100% sure which of these guys is the real deal, but I do think the Colts right now look like the best of the bunch.
13-3, Indy over the LA Chargers early in the second quarter. We've got the Giants up 7-0 in Denver over the Broncos. Commanders over the Cowboys 8-7 midway through the first quarter, and the Cardinals up the Packers 3-0 late in the third quarter. Quick break for us. We'll come right back and check in on all four of these games and see if anything has changed. So stay with us. The Sirius XM Fantasy Football Game Day.
Guys, can't wait to get this one started. And the Bulls will get us started with the opening kickoff. He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Owls offense will get first crack at it today. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really good. But you also need guys that will hold the guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans.
Here is some of the all-new styles from Unsung. We make the world's best Unsung shirts, and this season we'll run over some of our best yet. From soft front flannels to easy wrinkle-free cotton, every shirt is designed to keep you sharp and comfortable when you're layering up for work, weekends, or nights out. Special discounts for first-time customers, so shop now. Get the new arrivals today at Unsuckit.com and more than 80 stores. Unsuckit shirts designed to be worn. Unsuckit.
All right, team, listen up. Just like on the field, you've got to protect what matters. Your identity, that's your end zone. And LifeLock, that's your defense. Because these days, identity thieves are running trick plays. Phishing emails, fake texts, data breaches, you name it. Fortunately, LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for identity threats and alerts you fast. If something slips past the line, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist can tackle the problem and solve identity theft issues on your behalf, guaranteed, or your money back. Plus, all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you to your plan's limits if you lose money to identity theft. So this season, don't just play
At the end of the game, you look at
protect your
third down
identity like a true
percentages.
MVP with
Tells a
LifeLock.
huge story.
Right now,
Goes a
save up to
long way
40% your
deciding
first
who wins
year.
the football.
Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS. That's 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS. That's LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS for 40% off. Terms apply.
This is at the ATM, but it's dispensing microfunds instead of cash. Did you really read that cheat sculpture of the million?
Coming out on first down with the play face.
Yes. This is wonderful. Yeah. Because it makes pieces you can deeply individually. Thanks to its inspiring things. This simply doesn't work for you. Keeping inspiring therapy. And in fact, this thing can be a good follow by most insurance.
So we got the Junior the Bowl game.
Makes the interception.
2-6-8-2.
Returns you offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
Jenkins cuts right. Touchdown. Touchdown drive. Shot is in again. His third score of the day. Quinshon Judkins in the wind and the rain with an RB1 performance, 26.4 PPR fantasy points, 84 yards on the ground, and 3 rushing scores for the rookie. It is Sirius XM Fantasy Football Game Day, Week 7 edition. Paul Kelly and Joe Dolan here with you. We've got 4 games here on the late slate. I'll give you a whip around here. The Giants are up 7-0 over Denver. Jackson Dart with a touchdown to Daniel Bellinger. We got Indianapolis up 13-3 over the LA Chargers. Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman touchdowns to that. Arizona is up 3-0 over Green Bay as they were set to begin the second quarter in Arizona. And Washington is up 8-7 over the Dallas Cowboys. Touchdowns for Javonte Williams and Zach. Joe, I know that you've got some sad news to pass along to us in this episode.
Well, this is the 15th season, 16th season of Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, and with the proliferation of fantasy football, hopefully that we have access to fantasy football NFL Red Zone, NFL Sunday Ticket, ways we consume NFL content. It's hard sometimes to remember having those players that we have in our game. But nonetheless, one of the ways that you do remember is the player who, had a big game for you, a big season for you, and you always remember those moments. And one of those players that I think a lot of people in our listenership connect with really early in the run of Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio was Doug Martin, the running back from Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who was a first-round pick out of Boise State in 2012. Well, I have some really sad news. This is from Rich Stroud, who's from the Buccaneers. From Doug Martin's family, it is a great sadness to report you all that Doug Martin passed away Saturday night. Cause of death currently unconfirmed. Please respect our privacy. Doug Martin, player who obviously we talked about on this channel, player who has a great season for a running back, then battled injuries, and battled back an incredible on-bring season in his fourth year in the league, a couple of 1,400-yard rushing seasons, but ultimately a guy who was just a lot of fun to root for. He's thankful for the memories and hope his family is at peace soon.
Third and one, everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job on the offensive line.
A big part of the challenge on that formative years here for you and I. This is both of our 16th season. We've been here every football season since the challenge began, and Doug Martin was a part of that for 8 of those seasons. His first 7 in Tampa Bay, and then his final one
job by
with
the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Way too late. Okay, well, we get on with the business of NFL football here, Joe. We have 4 late window games that are all in second quarter. Now, good in return. We will get you updated on the latest scores, stats, and storylines for those games. Also, our 6th touchdown montage is just around the bend. So don't go anywhere. Stay right here with us in Sirius XM Fantasy Football Game.
Linebackers in the entire country.
Back to pass, it's Jenkins. Gonna try to get it himself. Breaks into the open.
Oh!
Nick Erickson here.
We're killing this.
He gets inside the 10. They stop him at the 9.
This was another fantastic game. With Dak Prescott, I think he continues to play at a top 3 level. Injury updates and more. Victory Sunday.
Take off, scramble, and now set this offense up with a first and goal.
Wrestled down at the 8-yard line. They tread deep in the red zone.
87.
This is very interesting because now down here in the red zone, you know it's not going to be easy throwing it because the windows are small. Can they run the ball against the best run defense in the entire?
And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Owls.
This is the Sirius XM Sports Update. A major shakeup in the swamp. Despite their win against Mississippi State yesterday, Florida has fired Billy Napier as their head football coach. Napier 22-23 over 3+ seasons. Colorado State has also fired head coach Jay Norvell. Week 7 of the NFL season, 4 games in progress right now. Giants is 7-8 lead on the Broncos, second quarter. Colts 13, Chargers 3. Cowboys at 10-8 lead on the Commanders first quarter. Cardinals 3, Packers nothing. Early second. Earlier tonight, Bryce Young left with injury as the Panthers beat the Jets 13-6. Eagles outlast the Vikings on the road 28-22. Bears blast the Saints 26-14. Winshaw Judges with 20 scores. Browns back the Dolphins 31-6. Patriots pop the Titans 31-15. Meanwhile, the Chiefs had to play with the Ravens.
They load the right side up again.
They've got to protect him. Receivers have to make plays. The running game would be good to get going. So let's get
He's at the 50.
And the Chiefs will surprising Derek Smith's return. Kansas State 31-8. Not London, Matthew Stafford, 5 TD passes. Devontae Adams caught 3. Rams rocked the Jaguars 35-7. Back to the Eagles, Darius Smith surprised retirement this week. Another former Eagle could take his place. Adam Schefter reporting that Brandon Graham is strongly considering coming out of the team. Graham retired for last year's Super Bowl following a 15-year career. MLB, the Mariners tonight a chance to do something they've never done before, and that's take over the bank. Game 6 between the Mariners and Blue Jays. Seattle up 3-2. Coverage getting started on MLB Network Radio Channel 89 momentarily. George Springer in the lineup for Toronto. In the Sirius XM Newsroom, I'm Justin Ross.
If it's happening in sports, it's happening on Sirius XM.
Toss sweep to the left. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
And a lot of times the defense is focused on the middle, right? Bring more big bodies in the red zone. Don't let them run the football. Offense tries to do the opposite. Get outside. Get their speeds to the football. Had a little bit of success, but nice job by this
Devontae Williams, 4 carries, 17 yards, and that touchdown. But he was also tackled in the end zone for a safety, giving the Commanders 2 of their 8 points. But the Cowboys just got a 47-yard field goal from Brandon Aubrey. So the boys lead the Commanders 10-8 with 5:31 remaining in the first quarter. It is Sirius XM Fantasy Football Game Day, Week 7 edition. I'm Paul Keller. He's Joe Golan. He was a good laugh here on a Sunday afternoon. What better way to laugh than by listening to some of the touchdowns that should help anybody with fantasy?
I think there's no better way to recap some of the action with a little bit of humor with our sick of this touchdown score today. But as always, there are plenty of bad ones that help absolutely nobody. Here they are. Week number 7.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead.
Would be a huge understatement.
And it'll be a touchback. Ball will come out to the 25-yard line.
As Chronicles
Rice takes over the Owls, ready to get that offense going again. This feels like one of those games you might have to answer every score. Already down 14-7. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line.
This season.
They'll try the run. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
You definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about airing that puppy out.
Looking for a man. It's Jenkins. Quick strike complete. And he'll move his way forward to the first down. They'll mark it at the 35.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. The defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy.
Oh, he's got some space. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down. Gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on his defense.
That's not to make. He's looking up.
That's the end of the period, and USF is on top. Guys, let's have a look at the stats. We've played one period.
And 4 yards behind the guy. Pokes it right to his left leg. Give him 2 Slides it in for the touchdown.
Lots of time left, and we are ready
First
to get
down,
back to it and open the
Young
second
up the
period.
center. The snap, the fake to Hubbard. Rolling
So
right.
after the break,
Young
they'll go back
rolls
to work.
back to his left. Eyes up. Young throws. Ends up. He can't sneak it. Touchdown, Carolina.
Rides the back and leaves it on the option. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
There you go.
with the back.
Same best release there. Oh, man. Week 7, sick of his touchdowns. Great job, as always, by Mr. Krause. We always appreciate all the likes. So, we had a couple of touchdowns happen while listening to those, Joe, and these are fantasy relevant touchdowns. How about Daniel Jones throwing his second touchdown of the day? The first one went to Michael Pittman. This one, a 5-yarder to tight end Ty Goring. And the Colts beating up the Chargers in L.A. 20-3 with 8:56 remaining in the first half. The other touchdown, who had the Giants going into Denver and beating up the Broncos. It's now 13-0 G-Men. Cam Scatterboot. 13-yard receiving touchdown from Jackson Dart. They do miss the PAT, so 13-0 Giants over Denver. Joe, the Broncos just not been able to get anything going on.
No, Scatterboot gets into the end zone. Bo Nix has just not had a very good season so far. He's 4 for 27 yards. They can't run the football. J.K. Dobbins, 3 for 11. R.J. Harvey, 4 for 0 so far in this game. Why are you talking?
Motion from the wide receiver. Looking to throw, it's Jenkins.
Sedarius from a 74-yard touchdown. And I will tell you what did not happen.
I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows
Directly
exactly
into
where to throw the ball.
the individual coverage, CD Lamb.
Yeah, that's not good. So we welcomed Rashee Rice back earlier today with 2 touchdowns for Kansas City. Now we welcome CD Lamb back to the Dallas Cowboys with a 74-yard touchdown. So 2 grabs, 87 yards, and a touchdown for CD Lamb here in the first quarter, Joe. It's 17-8 down.
After that miss, still a 7-point game.
Well, let's just say, hope you took the over, and I hope you put your DFS lineup from guys in this game because they're supposed to keep a lot of points. This game might be the one that Red Zone, Red Zone can only show games when there's multiple games going on.
Yeah,
I'm going to say this one might run into Sunday Night Football.
This one
Cast in on a short field. Last time they had it, and now they'll go to work
17-8
from
Dallas
their own end.
over Washington. 4:22 to play in the first quarter in that matchup. So the Arizona Cardinals are still leading the Packers 3-0. Not a ton going on here from a fantasy standpoint here, Joe, but I guess the notable storyline, at least for the Green Bay Packers offensive side of things, is that Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson so far are splitting the carries right down the middle, 3 carries apiece for each of those.
Yeah, it would be very clear from this split that Josh Jacobs is not feeling 100% right now. So that is an issue in this game where if you had Josh Jacobs for fantasy for the game, I would rather they just make it moving. Tebow at the Napoleon.
That's just a better job by the defender.
Yeah, he was active.
He's going to get challenged in this game.
They just
His
made
receivers
it
had speed and they were going to test him. Nice job by that DB knocking it away.
It's frustrating because if Josh Jacobs was active, he's in your line. But right now, he's only got 18 rushing yards and 1 catch for 3. On the other side for the Arizona Cardinals, so we saw more of a shift to Bam Knight in the backfield last week, Joe. So far today, it has been all 8 opportunities for Bam Knight, 0 opportunities for other Cardinal running backs so far this week.
Well, I don't understand what Michael Carter did in that first game that he ended up, I guess, shadow bench because he. I don't understand. What did he do wrong in that game? That it happened to something that people just didn't like him.
Extending the play.
And yeah, I thought he was pretty good. Van Knight in this game, 1 pass touchdown. He does have 7 carries for 31 yards, so up to a pretty good start here. Again, the Packers, though, are now in the red zone as it's a 3-0 Cardinal lead. 10:52 to play in the first half. Green Bay, after a 15-yard pickup, Jordan Love to Romeo Dobbs, down to 1st and 10 at the Arizona 16-yard line. Jordan Love is 8 of 10 for 56 yards. We go
job by the defense.
Dante Spiller was also there.
Be there to scoop it up and run it back to the end zone.
But I think as a whole, so far in this conference, Packer offensive line has been coming off the rock. They are coming off.
Chris Brooks now the ball game to the right side, 11 is Chicago. 2nd and 7 with 13 of Arizona. Grafton to the right side, 2 receivers split to the right.
And he'll just taking the end of the drive will start at 25. Rice takes over the Owls, ready to get that offense cooking again.
Team Davis game, a good coverage linebacker. On Chris Brooks, there's a 3rd Green Bay running back, Joe.
On the jet sweep.
Down for Green Bay, 7 yards.
And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just
the red zone. Packers offense ranks 71% touchdown.
And then it's all right after the
Three receivers to the right.
for a QB.
Brett standing in the left side, Love in the shotgun. Brooks to his left.
When I was playing quarterback, I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to steal that edge, especially when these guys full speed ahead.
Somebody needs to make a play here. It's 3rd and long
On the far right side in the end zone. That's Melton coverage on the play. 4th down for the field goal.
This rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
In this one,
Yeah,
Not much choice but to get rid of the ball.
I'm sure John Nance is watching very carefully.
No doubt about it. So field goal attempt incoming here for Green Bay Packers as they try to tie things up at 3. So big surprise of the late afternoon window. That's got to be the Giants. So up 13-0 in Denver against the Broncos. And you said it, Broncos offense and Bo Nix just, have not been playing all that well this season, but they are on the move now. Midway through the second quarter, the second quarter, Giants 23-yard line, and we'll see if the Broncos can get things going here as they face a 13-point deficit at home against the Giants. And for the Giants, Joe, I mean, Jackson Dart, Cam Scattaboo, and the energy that they bring seem to have totally turned the franchise around, at least in terms of the attitude and the vibes.
The second-hand skate that some Giants who did a lot of the last couple of years that accumulated. They just kind of got in there and were like, all right, well, we're in the NFL now. This is what we're going to do. And they're playing with attitude, and they're playing with spunk, they're playing with fire, and it has resuscitated this Giants team. Meanwhile, speaking of second-hand skate, the Chargers can just never escape it. Even when their team is supposed to be good, they have injuries, they have problems, they have this, they have that.
Rice has the ball back, and they're ready to send the offense back to the field.
For the Indianapolis Colts, the guy's named Grover Stewart, you know what position he plays, because that's not a 160-pound slot. He's a big ball there. Justin Herbert has great tools.
You're going to have to try to fit in as many plays as you can throughout the rest of this game. But I think more than that,
absolutely. The whole team joins him in the end zone for a celebration. You'll love to see that. Orande Gadsden, Joe, I believe he's back in the game. Am I seeing that right?
I said he made a catch, so
so actually with the knee, it didn't look great, but he did come back. Has 2 catches for 52, but Herbert with the INT. Okay, we're talking about Denver and their drive. Well, they've got a 4th and 3 at the Giants' 42, Joe. So this would be a 60-yard field goal attempt, which in Denver is certainly a makeable kick. But if I'm the Broncos,
Wait,
To the air, it's Jenkins.
because if you miss the kick,
Throws for the
you have
tight
a
end.
chance that
And
it's
he
a
just
short
flat
field,
dropped
right?
it. I think he
So,
wanted
like,
to run
and
before
to
he
what?
secured
Make it a
it.
10-point game?
Well, they're trying
They
to
made
get
the
the
right
big
call. They
fella
went
the
for it
football
more
in
than
the passing
expected.
game, but they haven't been able to
They
do that
did.
yet.
So
He is a
first
really
and
nice
10,
target
Denver
with his
Broncos,
size and
Giants
his athleticism.
39-yard line.
But him and the
Broncos getting
QB,
shut
they
out
just don't
13
seem
to
to be on
nothing.
the
They're
same
trying to
page
get their
right
first points of the afternoon. We
Got
go
his man
live for the
quickly.
Broncos
He's
offense.
into plus territory, knocked out of bounds after the nice game, marking at the 47.
And running backs are going to
They
add to the
called
passing
team in
game. They can
motion.
be so
So
dangerous
cut
because
split
once they get
wide
the catch, they're operating in
The
much
coverage
more
there
open
by
space
Cordell
than
Flout.
they would
He
be
had
on
some
a
help
handoff.
from
And it really also
the
tests the
safety, Nate
linebacker's
Malcolm.
coverage ability and those
Incomplete.
DBs.
Second down and 10.
Breaks into
Got
the
his
open.
right hand on it, David. I think he was looking.
Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play. Looks as if
Pretty
we
good
have an
throw by
injury
him.
on
Took a
that
big
last
shot
play,
after
and we'll
that.
take a break
That
to
throw.
check him out.
They
And
sold
the
that
Owls
crowd
come to the line
once
after
again.
ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying
456
to keep
games
it
in a row,
going.
and they haven't had a
The
lot to
option
get excited
roll.
about. Here's the
Playing the
handoff, running
option
straight
there,
ahead.
consistently
Dobbins
playing
off
responsibility
left tackle,
football.
a
Nice job by
hard
the
gain
defense
of
being where
maybe
they're
a yard and
supposed
a
to
half.
be. This option will just keep giving it to you
The tackle
over and over and
made
over
by
again.
Darius
And you got to pass
Alexander,
those
rookie out
tests.
of Toledo. Third-round pick of the Giants. So it
He's
brings up
got
a
him still
third
on his
down
feet.
and 8.
Gets out of bounds after the big play.
R.J.
and they'll
Harvey
be
comes
set
into the
up
game.
in
Dobbins
business
comes
for the
out.
first and goal.
And when you're running the ball well, QBs love
Vince
going to
Franklin
play
and
action.
Evan
Get the
Ingram.
linebackers
Outside
starting to
in,
suck up
trips
close to
right.
the line of scrimmage. They're
Suck
keying
the
on those
inside
running backs, and
of
it just makes pitch and catch
R.J.
so much
Harvey
easier for
in
these
slot
quarterbacks
left.
to
Now
receive.
Harvey comes in motion. They're just outside the left tackle. Nick's empty step. Harvey in motion. Left to right. Nick's loads it up. Throws the ball. He's got side.
I'm not going to say that was a must-score, but that was a must-score. And this offense delivers right before the half. Everything's starting to pick up. Now you
They
build
need to
some
hunt down
momentum.
here.
You
Side
cut
to
to
the desk.
a
Garrett
game.
Ball's
You got to build on this momentum in the second half.
Nick's dash to his right. He was covered, but a gain of 32
run from
as
inside
Sutton
zone
on a
5.
deep cross or towards the end. And Denver has a first
He
and
was
goal
hoping for
at
something
the
a
Giants
little more
5.
dynamic,
We talk
but
about
they
this
get
all
him
the
on the
time.
ground
How
at the
comfortable
20.
Mark is throwing,
South
especially
Florida has
running
it
to
back in
the
the
right.
Bills offense will return to the
It's
field.
Sutton in full
They've got some
stride.
time to
Perfect
work
throw
with
back
here,
there.
Jesse. If they
Sutton,
get a first down, they
63rd
might
catch
really
as
get
a
aggressive.
Bronco of
I'd be
25
aggressive
yards
right
or
out of the
more.
gate. I'd be
Formation.
throwing for a
Ended
first
off
down.
Donovan's
If I
left
get
side.
it, then
Dobbins
pedal
swings
to
to
the
the
middle.
tackle.
I'm in that
Gets held
2-minute
by
mode
his
to try
leg.
to score a
Pulls his right
touchdown
leg
against
out of the
it.
tackle.
But I do think this is a situation where you also have to understand that I
Gain
have
of
the
3,
lead going
second
into the
down
half. I've
and
got the
goal.
momentum, so don't do
The
anything
tackle
stupid.
there by Rooney
That is
Robinson
an
Harris.
excellent throw by the
Every
quarterback,
dad
finding the
in
window
Denver right
between
now
the
is saying,
zones
"Gotta
and
have
delivering
6."
that ball on time.
That catch by Cortland is such a cat thing to say, isn't it?
Over these
We've got to have 6 here.
yards in Broncos franchise history.
They had the perfect play to open the drive, and now they'll snap it again from the 38.
They bring Sutton in motion, left to right. Nick's under center, Dobbins behind him. Nick's play fakes. Pumps in trouble, throws a ball that is deflected. He tried to get Garrett Bowles 8 yards deep in the end zone, and he was wide open.
Makes the grab. It's Norton. Spins away from one. Big pickup on that one.
The
They'll
ball
mark him out
got
at the 40.
deflected at the line of scrimmage.
They've done a really good job identifying mismatches, and they find one out of the backfield there.
Reese, I really don't think it's that hard. My guy
Well,
is better than yours.
it's
Find the
not bad.
matchup across the field.
Well,
Running back's
to
got
me,
some speed. Get in
just
his hands
sort of
quickly.
how this thing
Throw it to him
feels.
fast.
This is
Let him
two-down
make something
territory here.
miss against a slower guy that's
Franklin
usually a
inside
linebacker.
a slot right. Ryan standing up tight left.
Fires toward
Come
the
on.
end zone.
I'm in the wrong button. To the circle.
Can swing momentum. And they get the takeaway and prevent points from going up just before the end of the
And
half.
it brings up a fourth down and goal.
Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive.
Burns chasing him down.
The give to the tailback. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
John Payton keeps the offense on the field.
We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to
They
Kevin
ran the ball
Connors in
with
our halftime
Dobbins on the
update.
first and goal from 5. He got 3. The last 2 plays have been passes, although the tackle eligible Garrett Bowles was
And in this day and age where
Robinson
quarterbacks
left to
chuck
next to
it
the
all
shotgun, 2 by 2 descent. They bring Sutton from inside left now to outside right in the flip flow. Shotgun snap, they throw it to Court with the screen, gets hit hard and blasted at the window.
have told the story
Oh,
of throwback to the halcyon
I mean, that was the right call to go for it. The drive died when Bo Nix couldn't hit air balls on tackle. Well, you would never see a guy as wide open as this. I'm not 100% sure why Bo Nix didn't throw it immediately, but I would have to see the end zone angle to see why. But he did not like what he saw, and then the ball was deflected.
I imagine that's going to be what they go over in the film session this week in Denver. So 13-0. Giants over the Broncos. G-men take over 1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line with 3:35 remaining in the first half. Quick break for us. We'll come back and get started here on all 4 late window games. Don't go anywhere. This is SiriusXM Fantasy Football Game Day.
Now to October 31st, Circus is even giving away your tickets to your dream postseason games for the World Series. You can now use every game to be the first ball in a bracket here in the postseason. Your tickets to the MLB postseason game. Now, many work ratings, your chance to win
Continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back.
There we go. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half. Running the football, right? Staying on the field.
But his GPS is giving him directions to places that don't exist.
You can be a little bit more conservative, but again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for the offense.
This is wonderful news, because it means Tom is sleeping deeply enough to dream, thanks to his Inspire implant. If CPAP doesn't work for you, check out Inspire Therapy. Find the confident new safety info at InspireSleep.com.
You want to just get the ball out quickly.
Velcro checkers on their team go out there and give it 20%. And a 20% completion rate will get you back in the 20% doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it in business
with the running back.
In most businesses,
and the defense snows him under after a very short game.
You have helps. For all the
the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Just like on the field, you gotta protect what matters. Your identity, that's your end zone. And LifeLock, that's your defense. Because these days, identity thieves are running quick plays. Phishing emails, fake texts, data breaches, you name it. Fortunately, LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for identity threats and alerts you fast. If something slips past the line, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialists can tackle the problem and solve identity theft issues on your behalf, guaranteed, or your money back. Plus, all plans are backed by the $1 million protection package. Getting LifeLock will reimburse you your plans and lose money to identity theft. Some people don't just play offense. Protect your identity like MVPs to LifeLock. Going out and save up to 40% your first year. Call 1-800-LIFE or go to LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS. That's 1-800-LifeLock. LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS. That's LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS for 40% off. Terms apply.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm Jeff, too. And I'm also Jeff. We're the Jeffs from Fantasy Sports Radio. The season is in full swing, and we want you to know we're here to help you with your waiver wire bids, lineup decisions, weekly projections, and top start sit decisions. It's all on Fantasy Sports Radio. Whether it's Jeff Ratcliffe, Jeff Erickson, or Jeff Mann. 3 out of 3 Jeffs agree. The place to be for fantasy football season is Fantasy Sports Radio. Channel 87 in your car and on the SiriusXM app. 1, 2, 3,
ready to get that offense cooking again. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jeff.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of your defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty quickly.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. And this offense just
staggers into the end zone for the Washington Commanders. They trail Dallas 17-8. Here early in the second quarter as we welcome you back to SiriusXM Fantasy Football Game Day, Week 7 coverage. Paul Kelly and Joe Nolan hanging out with you. 4 games in our late window. We just talked about Dallas, Washington. Arizona is leading Green Bay 6-3. Only 5 minutes remaining in the first half there. Indianapolis is up 20-3 on the road to the LA Chargers. Just 3.5 minutes until halftime there. And the Giants taking care of business in Denver. They're up 13-0 with 2:15 remaining in the first half. And Joe, we've got a listener question coming in here on the reaction hotline. Let's have a listen.
Hey, this question. I have Saquon Barkley in back to bench this week in favor of Quintel Judkins, before Crosby Merritt, and Kyrie Williams. And I'm kind of glad I did that. And I'm also concerned about Barkley not incredible. So my question is, how do you think about is it you are that the Eagles can get the turnaround for Barkley and start getting a big number when you have to move back?
So now, when I'm a wide receiver,
well, I mean, Joe, you're the guy to answer this one. I mean, looking for that caller, he's got an embarrassment of riches at running back to the point that he actually could bench Saquon Barkley. I don't know many people in that kind of a position. But to his point, I mean, what is it going to take, and is it realistic to expect that we're going to get some of those big blow-up Saquon Barkley games like we had last night?
If you trust the Eagles to fix one thing,
now the play fake.
It's this, right? Because it's always a defensive spotter. So if you watch Saquon Barkley, he is not the problem this year. As a matter of fact, he had an incredible run in this game against Minnesota. When he was contacted behind the line of scrimmage, he spun out of it and managed to get positive yards entirely with his own foot. But the issue for the Eagles is the offensive line. This team has the offensive line is dealing with injuries, and some of the guys, like for instance, one of my line of left tackle has not played up to his standard. Cam Perkins, the center, has not played up to his standard and got hurt today. Lane Dickerson, the left guard, has played up to his standard probably because he came into the season.
Great job by the defense that
the advantage you have, the Eagles have a weak
against the run, and they force that ball to go to the outside, use their speed to bring the ball
because they have this offensive line increase. They have some of the offensive issues that look like pass game today. But I think Saquon Barkley is a great find in fantasy football. This is the thing you would expect them to figure out. And honestly, I feel like all of their offensive issues have stemmed from this. Because last year, they were in 2nd and 4, and 2nd and 5, and 2nd and 3. This year, they're in 2nd and 5, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 4. All of this issues now. What I would really like to see them do is use Jalen Hurts. I don't think Jalen Hurts had a designed run in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Minus 10 rushing yards. Save for Jalen Hurts. So,
I'm not even talking about switches, but I think that's
at least give somebody a chance in the end zone.
The guy taking the snap.
Yeah.
That is what it is. All right, let's get to the LA Chargers and the Indianapolis Colts. This has been mostly Indy in the first half. We're at the 2-minute warning now, but when they come back from the 2-minute warning, the Chargers have a 3rd and 7 at the Indianapolis 8-yard line. Just Herbert this past game beginning to heat up. He's 12 of 19, 131 yards with a pick. But the Chargers have been unable to run the football even a little bit. Amani Vidal and Hassan Haskins have combined for 6 carries for 10 yards.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's out there flinging the ball all over the field and probably understanding that he doesn't have a run game to support him. He's throwing a kick. He's made some great throws. He's made some inaccurate throws, but he's doing it all himself right now. And that's not necessarily the recipe.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
No, it certainly isn't. But the Chargers with an opportunity here, less than 2 minutes to play when they run the football. We're also at the 2-minute warning in Denver, where the Giants are up 13-0 over the Broncos, and the Giants will have the 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line. And it looks like the Denver defense is going to get off the field. So if you remember, Denver went for it on 4th down. They didn't get it. They pinned the Giants all the way back deep at their 2-yard line, but then a defensive penalty kept the Giants possessed. So, yeah, the drive continues. The G-men now up to the own 26. In L.A., they're back from the 2-minute warning. Let's go live to the Chargers offense.
More guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for
in the shotgun. Trips left.
Making side adjustments here.
Not gassing in motion. Right to left. Herbert looking left. Still looking left. To the end zone.
And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21.
Second interception of the game for Herbert. And it's a great pick.
Man, when you come into this game, just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to
Quentin Johnston returning to the lineup today, Joe, but 2 pass targets, no catches, and one of those passes now.
He is not afraid to pull the trigger.
Maybe it's because the dehydrated uniforms for the Chargers.
Yeah, can we bury the all young fans here of the Chargers? This is a look. We got a classic look on one side for Indy against this ridiculous new look for the Chargers. Totally unnecessary.
Oh,
happy to see classic side winning so far.
Yeah, this is an interception where it probably shouldn't have been thrown anyway, but on top of that, it was a bad throw. Like, this needed to be an absolutely perfect throw to have any shot at being complete. And Quentin Johnston had maybe a quarter of a step on the defender. That's perfect coverage. And Justin Herbert just made a bad throw.
For the Colts, Daniel Jones with 2 touchdown passes and 145 yards here in the first half. Jonathan Taylor, 10 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Also 3 catches for 38 yards. So JT with 83 total yards here in the first half. And a 17-point lead, probably heading into the second half. Game script looking good here for JT to continue being fed the football in the second half of this game. Right now, quick break for me and you, Joe. Let's step aside so far here in week 7. It is your fantasy picks.
Yeah, it's as easy as ABC. Goodness gracious, he's been getting whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Hey, Paul and Joe, one fantasy football picks for week 7. Looking across the quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford started the day beautifully. Only threw for 182 yards in London with 5 touchdown passes in the Rams win. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs dominate today against the Raiders. Mahomes 26 for 35, 286 yards. And 3 touchdown passes. Jalen Hurts 19 for 23, 326 and 3 scores. Greg May was outstanding for the Patriots, 21-23, 222 and 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence 23-40, 296 and touchdown. Daniel Jones off to a great start today, 11-18, 145, 2 touchdowns. As for the Giants, Jackson Dart showing no signs of struggle against the vaunted Broncos defense.
Play fake, Dart back to throw. Looking for the deep ball.
That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being
Jackson
better.
Dart finding Daniel Bellinger there. Giants at 13-0 lead on the Giants Radio Network. Bryce Young, 15-25, 138 yards and a touchdown. Left that game against the Jets in the third quarter with an ankle injury. Did not return. Quinshon Judkins on the ground for the Browns. Had the best day so far, 25-84, 3 touchdowns. Browns, the Bears running backs outstanding today. DeAndre Swift, 19 for 124 and a touchdown. Kyle Managa, 13 for 81 and a touchdown for Chicago. Jonathan Taylor, 10 for 45 and a touchdown. Also has 3 catches for 38 yards in that one. Ramondre Stevenson, 18 for 88 and a touchdown for New England. And their way, James Scannable, 5 for 18 on the ground, but has 3 catches, 34 yards and a touchdown for the Giants. Devon Achane, 13 for 82, also had 3 catches. Meanwhile, Tony Pollard, 6 for 18 on the ground, 6 for 43 through the air for Tennessee. Wide receivers, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown return to form. Smith 9 for 183 and a score. Brown 4 for 121, 2 touchdowns. Chris Olave left with injury in the first half, but came back 5 for 98, 2 scores. Devontae Adams, 5 for 35 and 3 touchdowns. Travis Hunter, best game of his young career, 8 for 101 and a touchdown, the first of his career. Meanwhile, CeeDee Lamb announced his return with authority for Dallas.
But they're wasting time off the clock.
Look at this protection. Deep ball to the middle.
Off the play fake. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
I'm just not sure where to put the blame. And I know
Well,
they're going to
3
lose
for
this
98
football
and
game.
touchdown as the Cowboys right now leading the Commanders. That call on the Cowboys radio network. Rasheed Rice, 7 for 42, 2 touchdowns in his return from suspension. Jordan Addison at 9 for 128 for Minnesota. Tight ends today, Daniel Bellinger leading the charge, 3 for 88 and a touchdown. Tyler Warren continuing his stellar rookie season, 3 for 40 and a touchdown for the Colts. Jawan Johnson at 5 for 79 today for New Orleans. Meanwhile, T.J. Hockenson was 6 for 43 for Minnesota. Defensive side of the ball, Cleveland best of the day, 3 interceptions, including a touchdown on a pick 6, fumble recovery, and 4 sacks, and that one Will Reichard, the top kicker today, went 4 of 4 field goals, 30 for 30 to 39 yards, including 1 of 50 plus. With your fantasy football picks for week 7, I'm Justin Ross.
Stick around and
Oh,
improve
shit.
ratings. Like, the game's over, but you're continuing to fight. You're powered in for the touchdown, and show your kids that we're going to always fight no matter what the score is.
South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, David.
Yeah, just mauling. No secret play calls, just simply, we are more physical than you, and we're pounding the football right at you.
So if you're on offense this next drive, take a look at their safeties and see if they're creeping up into the box. Because of your success running the football, this might be time to take a shot down the field and play action.
On your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Sirius XM College Sports Radio has everything a college football fan needs.
They'll keep it on the ground. The clock is on their side.
Get ready
Able
for
to kick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get it done.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through
Looking
the
for
air.
sharp insight and real
Now
talk about
here's
today's
Fire
latest
back into the
top
middle.
stories. Join
Can't
Steve
make
Phillips
the
and
grab
welcome
in
to
this offense,
Take your
which has
scrubs as
been
they take you
brilliant this
inside
season
the
on
game.
3rd down. Doesn't convert this
Right
time.
on, the dog.
The Bulls
Don't
will
miss the
bring the punt
conversation.
team onto the
Thank you for
field.
Sirius
They
XM
ought to be
and
able to
Network
use this
Radio.
first punt to pin them
Chick-fil-A.
deep. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchdown. Rice takes over the Owls, ready to get that offense cooking again. They took advantage of outstanding field position the last time they had it, and now they'll have a little more work to do to get on the board.
According to the experts at InfoSpeed. So MLB
That's about
fans
as
connected
close
to
as you
home
can get to that marker, and it will
most
be
advanced 5G
second and just a few
power
breaths away from the first down.
farther than ever. Keep up with your teams
the
on
air,
the road,
it's Jenkins.
overseas, even off
Grabs
the
it in
rail.
the middle.
With baseball fans, it's
He'll
better.
move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a first down. Rice rushes to the line.
You coming into this game, if they throw
You start
completions and
business
get
to
first
babysit
downs,
your
that's
forward
when they like
performing
to change
employees.
up the
That's
tempo
exactly
and go
why I
fast. You're
started my
seeing it here.
business, so you don't have to.
Caught in
I'm
the
not the
backfield, it's
founder
on
and
his head.
CEO of Bandit.
That
I
will
created
take us to
Bandit
the
so small
2-minute
business owners can
timeout,
take
and
back
not
control
much
of their
time
business.
left for
Need
this
to fire a
offense to
full
put
performing
together a
employee who
miracle.
happens to now want
Plenty
3
of
months
distance
off?
between
The
them and the
Bambi
sticks
HR
here
manager
on
will take
second
care of
down.
that for you in your first week with us. You spend your time coaching your A players, we'll take care of the rest. I'm so confident
Back
that
to
Bambi will
pass.
help you focus on what you love about running your business, that I'm offering a $1 trial to the service for your first
Makes
month.
the grab,
Trust
and
me,
it's
there are
enough
no
for the
mystery
first
about
down
calls
before
or
he's
questions
dragged to
you
the
can give your
ground.
Bambi HR manager. After
Sprinting
your
to
first
the
month,
line to try
just
to get
20,
this one off.
yes,
Clock's running.
$29 a month for companies of any size. Month to month, no hidden
Looking to
fees,
throw
cancel
on first
anytime.
down.
Get a month of Bambi
Can't
for just
find his
$1.
man as he
Go to
took a
Bambi.com and
shot
type
trying to
Sports
deliver that
Fantasy
football,
under
and it'll
radio
be
to
second
schedule your
down.
first call with an
Couldn't
HR
make the
manager
connection
right
last
now.
time. Let's
Go
see
to
if they throw it again.
BAMBE.com,
These
Sports
corners gonna
Fantasy
give these
Radio.
receivers some space. He's done for no gain again. Back-to-back runs, and they have nothing to show for it except facing a 3rd and long.
Discover the stars and sounds
He
of Latin
lofts it
music
high and deep down the left
and get
side.
looking for the
Picked off, that's number 15 on the year. Takes it the other way. It'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there.
Time on Channel 79 and the Sirius XM app.
Hey, put it. Jones. Goes upfield. Caught by yes, sir.
They'll crank up this drive from the 30-yard line.
How about those Colts? 23-3 at the half over the Chargers. Michael Batchley connecting a 36-yard field goal as time expired at the end of the first half. So a 20-point lead for Daniel Jones and company. Jones with 207 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 to Michael Pittman, 1 to Ty Warren. Jonathan Taylor with a rushing touchdown as well. It has been all Colts in the first half. Sirius XM Fantasy Football Game Day continues. I'm Paul Kelly. He's Joe Dolan. So we've got the Colts and Chargers at the half. We've got the Giants and Broncos at the half with the Giants out to a surprising 13-0 lead over the Denver Broncos. Jackson Dart with 2 touchdown passes in the first half, 1 to Daniel Bellinger and the other 2 Cam Scatterwood. We do have 2 games still going on. 1:07 remaining in the first half. The Arizona Cardinals driving at the Green Bay 35-yard line. Cardinals with a 6-3 lead. And the Dallas, the Cowboys, have just taken 61-yarder. The foot of Brandon Aubrey puts it through from 60 yards ago. So it's 20-8 Dallas over the Commanders. Brandon Aubrey, he is ridiculous. Like, first of all, let me throw it out here. He is ridiculous. He's incredible kicker. I mean, I would say probably the best I've ever seen. Like, I guess maybe Justin Tucker would have had a claim to that.
I don't think they're excited about
but
practicing.
is there something up with these
a lot of these
balls?
seniors that have been around, man, they get another dance. They get a chance to play another football game, make some more memories with their boys. So this is a big win.
60-yard field goal every
That's going to do it from here.
Yeah, Aubry's the best at it. All right, let's not insult Brandon Aubrey. He is by far the best at it. But like, at this point, it's more surprising when a 58-yard field goal doesn't go through than when it does.
I know. I'm with you. I think
is that exciting?
I think we get rid of the kicker one.
What would you rather? Oh, so here's another question, because look, I understand the tush push is not a fun play to watch or anything like that. I get that. Is every 60-yard field goal being automatic? Is that fun to watch?
No, it's not.
If that's what you want.
No, don't want that either. I would get rid of the kicker, the special kicking ball. I don't think it's needed. These kickers are too good as it is. They don't need that special ball and that extra help. Joe, we got the Cardinals here threatening to score some points before the end of the half. Let's go live to the Arizona offense. 2nd and 10 at the 21 of the Packers. Empty set for Brissett. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Cardinals 6, Packers 3 with 32 seconds to go here in the first half. Brissett out of empty. Takes the shotgun snap. Drops straight back to throw. Pressure on. He backs away. Now throws short right. Caught at the line of scrimmage by Knight. Slammed to the ground at the 20 with 22 seconds left. Yeah, I think JG was trying to see if LaFleur would use a timeout. He didn't, so JG did. Little chess game there between the two to see who would call it first. 19 seconds left. And a 3rd down and 9 coming up. 19 seconds is right on the cusp of being able to complete a ball inbounds right now and still get up and get your field goal unit on the field and make a play to kick a field goal at the end of the half. So I think this ball has to go to the end zone. It has to be, it's either going to be touchdown or throw that thing 20 yards out the back of the end zone and then send your field goal team one. So it's either going to be touchdown or field goal. With the way Brissett has thrown the ball in 3rd down, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a touchdown. He's in shotgun here with Johnson flanking into the left. 2 receivers left and 2 to the right. And 3rd and 9 in the Green Bay 20 with 19 seconds to go in the half. Cardinals 6, Packers 3. Brissett is ready. The Packers are offside. It's a free play. Back to throw goes Brissett. Moves to his left. Surveying. Now firing far side. And way over the head of the intended target, McBride. Incomplete in the back of the end zone, but offside on Parsons. Make it 3rd and 4.
Defense number 1, 5-yard penalty.
So it'll be 3rd and 4 now at the 16-yard line. But you're down to 12 seconds, so still probably need to throw it to the end zone or quick to the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gaining much by throwing it to the sideline. This is going to be touchdown or out the back of the end zone.
No sack. Can't take a sack. No timeouts left, so got to get rid of it quickly here. Johnson stays in it, running back to the left of Brissett is in shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right, 3rd and 4 on the Packer 15. Parsons lined up over the nose, standing up. Back to throw, goes Brissett, looks right, throws right, caught on the goal line, touchdown, Trey McBride. Jacoby Brissett with a
all right, Trey McBride.
It's Trey McBride for
well,
with 7.
All McBride needs is Jacoby Brissett at quarterback.
Apparently so. So McBride into the end zone on his 4th catch of the first half. So McBride and the Cardinals now are going to go into halftime up by 10 if they can make the PAT here. So it's a 15-yard touchdown. Brissett to McBride, 4 catches, 32 yards, and that score for Trey McBride. And this Green Bay Packers offense, Joe, only 3 points in the first half, and they've been kind of one-dimensional here. Josh Jacobs just 4 carries in the first half.
Yeah, and I would think the illness is probably playing a factor in this. But, man, Jacoby Brissett, he has been ripping it. He made a 47-yard throw to Zay Jones on this drive. Paul, if you were to tell me Josh Allen made the throw, I would have believed you. That's how much heat it came out with. And it was an impressive throw by Brissett. And he's got this offense humming, man. And remember, they're doing this without their top 2 running backs. Obviously, no James Conner, no Trey Benson. Bam Knight has given them a capable back there, but I don't think anybody's going to say he's been special. But, I mean, Jacoby Brissett, 12-18, 137, 1 touchdown after throwing for 320 last week, nearly leading a comeback win over the Colts. Well, let's just say I'm noticing.
All right. Meanwhile, Dallas has a 4th and 2 at the Washington 18, Joe. They're up 20-8.
Opposite. Washington has 4th and 2.
I'm sorry. Washington has a 4th and 2 at their own 18. So we got a punt incoming here. My bad for looking at that the wrong way. But yeah, look, the Commanders, after getting the Zach Ertz touchdown, they really haven't been able to do much here in this second quarter. Dallas Cowboys are outgaining them. They're up by 12 points here, 6:20 remaining in the first half. I know a lot of people were firing up Bill Krosky-Merritt. We haven't talked about Bill today, Joe, but he's got 9 carries, which is a nice, healthy number for him, but just 28 yards here in the first half.
Yeah, this Washington offense has not been moving the ball nearly as much as maybe you might have thought. But, again, even against a bad defense, you've got guys who are injured at wide receiver, Deebo Samuel. You've got Deebo injured. You've got certainly Terry McLaurin, who hasn't been able to play. Now they're talking about a penalty. The Commanders think they got the Cowboys to jump off, and then instead they're going to call it a false start on the long snapper.
All right, so that'll push them back 5 yards, and now they'll be punting from the 13-yard line. So Dallas is going to get some pretty good field position here in 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on the clock here in the second quarter. So Indy and the LA Chargers are at the half. That's 23-3. Indy. Giants and Broncos are at the half. 13-0 Giants. Quick break for us. When we come back, we celebrate the day's top fantasy performers so far. Your players of glory. Next on SiriusXM Fantasy Football Game Day.
The new film, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, tells the story of his 1982 album, Nebraska. It was a representation of who I wanted to be. Bruce Springsteen joins actor Jeremy Allen White in SiriusXM Town Hall with questions from superfans. If you can make this honest, people will connect with it. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, on E Street Radio, SiriusXM Channel 20, and on the SiriusXM app.
Now through October 31st, SiriusXM is giving away a pair of tickets to every MLB postseason game through the World Series. Listen to MLB Network Radio for the clues to be the first caller to correctly name the postseason hero. You'll receive a pair of tickets to an MLB postseason game. MLB Network Radio has your chance to win on SiriusXM 89 in the SiriusXM app. Extra information will be included information with the prizes. The full contest information and official notices at SiriusXM.com/MLB postseason hero 2025. No register stereo, but only the current SiriusXM subscribers prior to September 19th. Just being U.S. resident over the age 18.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing a house or not affording college. Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. That's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/win. That's ethos.com/win.
Rates may vary. Build monthly sample rates and year-term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
All right, team, listen up. Just like on the field, you've got to protect what matters. Your identity, that's your end zone. And LifeLock, that's your defense. Because these days, identity thieves are running trick plays. Phishing emails, fake texts, data breaches, you name it. Fortunately, LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for identity threats and alerts you fast. If something slips past the line, LifeLock's US-based restoration specialists can tackle the problem and solve identity theft issues on your behalf, guaranteed, or your money back. Plus, all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you to your plan's limits if you lose money to identity theft. So this season, don't just play offense. Protect your identity like a true MVP with LifeLock. Join now and save up to 40% your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS. That's 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS. That's LifeLock.com, promo code SERIOUS for 40% off. Terms apply.
Chris is at the ATM, but it's dispensing life advice instead of cash. Did you really need that cheese sculpture of the mailman? Yes. This is wonderful news, because it means Chris is sleeping deeply enough to dream, thanks to his Inspire implant. If CPAP doesn't work for you, check out Inspire Therapy, an implantable sleep apnea treatment covered by most insurers. Find a provider and view safety info at inspiresleep.com.
Recap the night in fantasy football and betting with me, Dustin Sweetelson, on Cashing Out tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern on VSiN and right here on Fantasy Sports Radio.
March back, green for Scattergood. Can he get a pot? Cuts back inside. Scattergood for spot. Stiff arms him in. Into the end zone. Touchdown nine. And Scattergood. I'm in a New York.
Cam Scattergood into the end zone. 2 first-half passing touchdowns for Jackson Dart. 1 to Scattergood, 1 to Danny Bellinger. And the Giants beating up the Denver Broncos in Denver 13-0 as they are set for third quarter action. Sirius XM Fantasy Football Game Day. Along with Joe Dolan, I'm Paul Kelly. And now is the time of the program when we celebrate the biggest fantasy performers of the day, position by position. Here is the Week 7 Players of Glory Montel.
They load the right side up again. They single touchdown. Kansas City. Direct snap to him. Heavy formation to the left. Judkins right at the middle. Judkins cuts right. Touchdown. Touchdown drive. Touchdown is in again. His third score of the day.
Hurts fakes. Back. He's going deep. He wants Devontae Smith. He has it. 15, 5, 10.
Play fake, dark back to throw. Looking for a deep ball. He had somebody deep. Now he throws it downfield. Wide open. Touchdown. 44 yards.
Glenn outside of Smith. Now Broncos in motion. Hurts back. Hurts looking. Hurts firing. A.J. Brown. Touchdown.
Bulls juggling a sweet nectar in the end zone.
There are your Players of Glory Week 7. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Running back Quinshon Judkins. Wide receiver Devontae Smith. Tight end Daniel Bellinger, who still has a half of football left to play. And in the flex, it's A.J. Brown. And look, some fantasy superstars here, Joe, coming through in week number 7. And probably the most notable, that Philadelphia Eagles passing game. By the way, Jalen Hurts was like a point or two for making it the Players of Glory here. But Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, both with huge fantasy performances there.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, Jalen Hurts would have gotten there if he did what we know Jalen Hurts does, run the football. He had negative rushing yards. For the second consecutive week, I believe, no designed runs for Jalen Hurts. He did it all with his arm.
Joe, the Chargers are in the red zone. Let's go live to L.A.
Now with a fourth down, BK. Trying for a trick and a little throwback screen.
Oh, making a field goal attempt here.
He's a little beat up. I know he had that long catch. He's gone over 100 yards, but he has been limping. I think he was still a little bit gassed from that long reception.
Chargers are 1 for 6 on third down. And obviously,
there
you go. 20 points here at the 7. They got to go for it on 4th and 5. Fourth down, 4 of 6 on the year.
Got to give him a little time here.
Shotgun snap. They rush 4. Herbert under pressure. Throws to the end zone. Caught you. Touchdown. Chargers. First catch of the game for Quentin Johnston. The fish of the game. Quentin Johnston. How we missed ye. His 5th touchdown reception of the season. So Q into the end zone. Justin Herbert, first touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Chargers trying to make this a football game. It is now a 2-score game, 23-9, Joe. I imagine they'll kick the PAT here to make it a 13-point game. But some different names getting involved for the Chargers on offense, including the rookie tight end, Oronde Gadsden.
Oh, yeah.
How about 3 catches for 105 for the rookie tight end?
Yeah, Gadsden becoming part of this has made this Charger receiving corps already one that is tough to suss out every weekend. It's made it even more difficult. Remember, we were drafting Ladd McConkey in the 2nd round because he was the only proven pass catcher on this team. Then they signed Keenan Allen, look, I was drafting Keenan Allen late just because I thought maybe he could sign with a team and give them something. Well, he's been better than I anticipated. And Quentin Johnston, who had really been, let's face it, a first-round bust through his first 2 seasons in the NFL, his emergence was not something anybody counted on. And now Gadsden coming in here, all of a sudden, Ladd McConkey has far more target competition than anybody could have realistically expected from this team.
Yeah, that's a good point. Keenan Allen has a lot more life left in him than I think a lot of people anticipated. The emergence of Gadsden, as you mentioned, Quentin Johnson, I mean, all of these things factoring in to the disappointing start to the year for Ladd McConkey. By the way, I have a Keenan Allen over the catches prop. It's 4.5. He's sitting at 4 for 50 right now, down by 2 touchdowns. I'm hoping I get that 5th catch.
I would feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, so 23-10, Colts over the L.A. Chargers. Looking at Dallas and Washington, this is still a 20-8 Cowboy lead. The Commanders with the football, Dallas 42-yard line. Jaden Daniels, 9 of 18 for 129 and 1. He's also run for 27 yards, Joe. So a decent fantasy performance so far from Daniels. It's a great matchup, but he's also down his top 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, he's down those top 2 wide receivers. Zach Ertz is banged up, so we know that. It's not the greatest of situations for him. Now, he did just get I don't know how the heck this isn't pass interference. He did just get a free play for Robbie Chosen on an offside penalty. I have no clue how they didn't call pass interference on this play ball. Oh, this is clear PI.
Robbie Chosen, I mean, first of all, a lot of people listening probably have no idea Robbie Chosen was even in the NFL, that they did what he was playing for. 3 catches. He leads the Commanders here in the first half with 3 catches, Joe. That's a bad sign.
And so Jake Daniels, by the way, had a free play on the Cowboys jumping offsides. And as you should do when there's a free play, if you have a deep shot available, take the deep shot. Robbie Chosen is tracking this ball in the air. The Cowboys defender has no idea where the football is. This is classic pass interference. And you see so much get called for less in the NFL. I have no idea how they didn't call this. Fans have the ball down 4-yard line.
I have no idea either. I am looking at it. This is just blatant pass interference. I don't know how there's no call there. That is crazy. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, here's an interesting note. So Dak Prescott has thrown for 161 yards here in the first half. All 161 yards went to C.D. Lamb, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson. I mean, that's a beautiful
like
thing.
that. Not unlike the freaking Chargers who were getting. I'm pretty sure Lance Allworth has a catch today. So,
with that, Joe, we're going to step aside. We're going to make room for the Elite Sports Game Time team. They're coming up next. Live Week 7 coverage continues with them. We invite you to join us tomorrow morning on SiriusXM Fantasy Football Morning, presented by Fantasy Points, 7 a.m. Eastern. For Joe Dolan, I'm Paul Kelly. Thank you, Emmett and Mitchell. Keep it right here, SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
I'm Jeff, too.
And I'm also Jeff.
We're the Jeffs of Fantasy Sports Radio. The season is in full swing, and we want you to know we're here to help you with your waiver wire bids.
Lineup decisions, weekly projections, and tough start-sit decisions.
It's all on Fantasy Sports Radio.
Whether it's Jeff Ratcliffe,
Jeff Erickson,
or Jeff Nance,
3 out of 3 Jeffs agree.
The place to be for fantasy football season
is Fantasy Sports Radio.
Channel 87 in your car and on the SiriusXM app.
1, 2, 3,
go Jeff.
The biggest sporting events happen on SiriusXM Sports. Find out what channel your team is playing on by going to SiriusXM.com/sports.
This is the SiriusXM Sports Update.
Yesterday's win over Mississippi State, not enough to save his job. Florida's fired head coach Billy Napier after 3+ seasons. Napier finished with a 22-23 record. Colorado State has also fired their head coach Jay Norvell. 4 late games in progress right now in the NFL, and the Giants off to a stunning.
3 receivers out to the left. Large back, screen for Scatterby. Can he get a block? Cuts back inside. Scatterby to the 5. Stiff owns him in. Hit in the end zone. Touchdown Giants. Your little blue thing. And Scatterby on a 3rd and 11 goes 13 yards.
Call on the Giants Radio Network. Giants a 13-0 lead on Denver in the 3rd quarter. Colts 29, Chargers 10 in the 3rd. Cowboys up 20-14 on the Commanders late 2nd quarter. At the half, Cardinals 13 and the Packers 6. Earlier today, Bryce Young left with injury, but the Panthers topped the Jets 13-6. Eagles held off the Vikings 28-22. Bears cruised past the Saints 26-14. Browns rolled the Dolphins 31-6. Patriots took care of the Titans 31-13. Chiefs clobbered the Raiders in a 31-0 shutout. For those who are late to rise on Sunday, the Rams run roughshod over the Jaguars. Matthew Stafford 5 TDs. Devontae Adams caught 3. Rams a 35-7 rout over the Jags. MLB, Mariners and Blue Jays. Game 6 of the ALCS tonight in Toronto. Pre-game coverage on MLB Network Radio Channel 89 already in progress. Seattle up 3-2 trying to win their first ever pennant. The Jays will have George Springer in the lineup. He's leading off and serving as a designated hitter. And in the NBA, the Rockets and Kevin Durant have agreed on a 2-year, $90 million extension. In the SiriusXM newsroom, I'm Justin Rock.
If it's happening in sports, it's happening on SiriusXM. It's Elite Sports Game Time on Fantasy Sports Radio, and we're ready to help you celebrate. Pick up those pieces. We're breaking down all the day's action from season long to daily fantasy football and betting while getting you ready for Sunday night football.
Straight out of need, not necessarily desired.
Let's head out to Elite Sports Game Time headquarters. Here are your hosts, Justin Fensterman and Russell Clay.
It's game time on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio. What's going on, everybody? My name is Justin Fensterman, and you're locked into Elite Sports Game Time on Fantasy Sports Radio. Week 7, let's talk about it. The present. We'll go back to the past and talk about the future. That's what we're all about. I'm not alone. You can find my work at fantasyguru.com, as you can. My co-host, Russell Clay. What's going on, Russ? How you doing?
What a week. Lots of chaos. An ugly, ugly London game. And here we are.
True game time decisions. Not us. We're here, man. We're here. Also here with us, Jimmy Scales, Jimmy Scalia, Noah the Tan, the one and only. You'll hear from them a little bit later on when we do our predictions for Sunday Night Football. Russ, I mean, you're getting just about everything right here. It's supposed to be a competition. I got to step up my game. You're winning just about every single week here. Why even play anymore? That's why this is the point in listening right here, Russ.
It's been a good run. I wish I could say my bets on my overs and unders have been as good, but we'll take the points. We'll take the points.
Absolutely. 888-963-2682, 888-XM Fantasy. You want to get involved? Dial in. Let us know how's it going for the week. Especially, Russ, when we've got the 2 Monday night football games. Then things become a little interesting because as of right now, we've got 3 games to go, and lineups can still be hanging in the balance, man. And this is on the eve of what is going to be, or the double eve of what's going to be, a big-time bye week in Week 8 with 6 teams on bye. So it's very interesting with some of the teams that we have to go, and that's why, Russ, we always bring in some of our other analysts from FantasyGuru.com. Tyler Keeper is going to stop by to talk about those games, the Monday Nighters, and even react to what's gone on, man. My question to you, though, is, because it's always, well, where do we start? Where do we go? Originally, we were going to start with Jackson Dart, but something just happened, Russ, and it's something we got to talk about here, and that is Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor started to go nuclear a little bit, just 53 yards on the ground early in the third quarter here between the Colts and the Chargers, but 2 touchdowns. How automatic has this guy been all year? It has been fantastic.
We knew all along this was the type of running back he could be in the right system, but as Colts fans know very well, and if there are any Colts fans listening right now, you guys know especially well, you've been a tortured quarterback fan base since Luck left. As soon as we get competent QB play, Daniel Jones, the play action means something again, and Jonathan Taylor is putting up an immense season. Already 2 touchdowns and 50 yards on the ground.
And in the last few weeks, Russ, he's plugged in for 6 scores. This guy. We're talking about a guy that has over 3 100-yard rushing games here. He's been pretty steady for the most part. Yeah, we weren't seeing the touchdowns on the ground the first couple of weeks, but he still caught one in the air in week 2. But Jonathan Taylor, what he's been doing no matter the matchup here, and does he necessarily need 20-plus carries? No. But he is able to find those openings every time you're watching. He's not really running into junk for the most part. Hard guy to take down. And just like today, another solid performance here. And it doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't matter the match because that impacts the ceiling. But Jonathan Taylor has just been excellent over.
Yeah, and it's one of those where as we work through this, and as we work through week to week, you want as many guys to set and forget as you possibly can. And you want as many guys that aren't in start sits as you can possibly get. And here we are with Jonathan Taylor. We weren't really expecting him to be in RB start sits to begin the year, but in past years, it's been such a struggle for that offense. We're looking at it a little different this year.
Yeah, no, we are right now. And yes, this is not the end of the game score. 31. The Colts are all over the tree. The pressure on Justin Herbert has